This is the Yerushalmi Peah, Tav Chad Beis Aleph. We got yesterday in the article of Hada edition. We got yesterday to the to Shekila Sadeu, but there's a dot in the line behind before that, which is the end of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh line down. No, last word in the sixth line, mafresh, and in the um, Bilna edition, it's Yud Beis of a Beis on the first wide line. Mafresh min Ogdo la Ogdo. So the Gemara says Mafresh min Ogdo la Ogdo. Obviously, you can the essay we had to try to tell who's doing Bein Tzarech Lomar. Obviously, you can Mafresh Ogdo la Ogdo. And also the Tayar so through in the essay Mina Shchimtis Al Shchimtis. But this is only this is only b'shekila es sadeu, when you finished harvesting your entire field. So then you finished harvesting for your entire field. So then you have nothing left in the field to get pay up from. So the halacha is if you finished the entire field, you pay up from the omorim, from the sheaves of grain. So shekila sadeu, you can give from the ogdo on the shchimtis, and the shchimtis on the ogdo on the ogdo, and the shchimtis on the shchimtis. Because you're not giving it from the standing grain, because there is no standing grain anymore. It's all harvested. So therefore, when you're giving it from the harvested grain, you can give from one or the other. But if you didn't yet finish the field, you shouldn't take from the earlier ogdo and set aside pay on the later ogdo. Now, I don't decide in my Gemara here that this seems to be only the chatchila. If you want to be kind of mitzvah pay ma'adrin, or shoot at least the way it sounds, so then you should leave a corner at the end of your field. So it means you should not set aside from the ogdo at the beginning of the field, even from the ogdo at the beginning of the field and on the end of the field. If you already harvested everything, there's no difference between beginning and end. But if you want a kila, I feel ogdo ain't no mafresh. Shouldn't say it even for the ogdo. You should wait till the very end, and then be mafresh from the ogdo which remains on the ogdo which was already harvested. Okay, chatzi ogdo, b'chol shechimtis, shmutis. Here, sorry. If you shmutis. If you harvested half of the ogdo and all of the shmuntis, lasos going echad, in order to make them one goren, one pile, one silo. But then he changed mine and made it into 2 granos. So then mafish al mina agro. You separates from the agro on the agro, ve'al but the chol hashchimtis shesham niftera. All the shchimtis is there is the potter, because what we said yesterday, because you harvested your entire field, and in order to make them one goren, and therefore, so you did chatzi ogdo chol shchimtis lasos going echad, to make them one goren. You have a son shtei granos, and you changed your mind and you made them into 2 granos instead. Mavish mina ogdo al ogdo. You can separate from the ogdo which is left, but it also goes b'chol hashchimtis shesham niftera. It also exempts all the shchimtis. Remember, you have harvested half of the agar and all the shchimtis. So now you can take from the agar, that's from which is still standing, on both the agar which is standing and which is cut down, and on all of the shchimtis. So that agar works for all of them because it became a goren echad. In other words, this is all one goren. At this point, it's all one goren. So therefore, you can use mafresh from the ogdo on the ogdo and the shchintis. The Kavanaki explains it nicely. He says, since you finished all of the shchintis, he calls it shamutis, and with the thought of making one goren with the aguris, he calls the agdo, he calls aguris. So therefore, the thought has been locked in by the shmutis, and and it's even though you did the aguris in two stages, but nevertheless it's locked into the aguris, and therefore, the fact he changed his mind and didn't all go in he left half the agoras there. Doesn't mean it doesn't mean that the achiyah pair changed, and therefore comes out. You don't take any pair from the shkimtis, or rather you take all the pair from the agoras. He says the same, even though the Gemara doesn't specify, the same as the opposite. If you have the opposite, have the shkimtis, and all of the agoras, and initially had in mind going echad, so then the payer obligation falls on the shkimtis, which remains at the end of the harvesting, and you can't be mafresh from the agoris at all. Can't be mafresh from the agoris because all the agoris you had in mind that it should be to get to together with the shchimtis, and therefore you give from the shchimtis which remains at the end of the process. Okay. Um, and again, so the way he's saying when it says kol shchimtis sham niftara, it's not just niftara. I'm not sure you have to go as far as he does, but it's not just that niftara. It means that you're not allowed to take from that shchimtis. You have to dafka take from the agdush then, because that was your what you intended to do. Okay, that fulfills what you intended to do. Amar b'zir b'shem Rabbi Yochanan. In bas halacha yodcha. If a halacha comes to hand, this is a generic statement. I do pay. If you halacha comes to hand, but ain't them mativa. You don't know the quality of halacha. What should be? What's the psak here? What's the psak? What's the how should you conduct yourself? Al tafligenu ledavar acher. So don't the way Kavanaki explains. Don't think that you're going to paskin based on your own assessment of Dimian Milsa, of drawing a parallel between something else, another halacha and this halacha, and saying, well, if it's there, like there over there, this must be the same thing over here. Because maybe there is, and he says, interesting, Kavanaki says, it's not only I'm afraid you're going to make a mistake, but maybe there's a Masorah, maybe there's a Kabbalah from previous generations. So, Shekam halachos nehem l'Moshe Sinai. Not because you might. Well, actually, so it's not the Kavanaki saying it; it's the Gemara saying it. But anyway, the point is that it's not because you can't use shikodas, but first you have to clarify that there's no halacha Moshe Sinai. Because all halachos Moshe Sinai kulan mishuka os b'mishnah. They're all better than the Mishnayos. So therefore, you should check around to see if that halacha is already dealt with. Rabbi Yovan said, if you it's a good way of saying it. It's no it's proper, or nice. Shnei minei chitim, the two types of grain. Ilmole lule sheba nachum, if not for the fact that Nachum came, and he was in the Mishnah. He said he had a Masorah. They had a Masorah from Nachum of Lavlar. That son garachas because what peachas son shtei goros son shtei peos. It's not for shilesh banachum pirish lanu I think it's pirish lanu. It should be pirish lanu ain't on the yodim, right? Not that we do know, but if they hadn't said this, we would not have known. So the way the Kavanaki has it is klum yodim ayinu. Shilei shebanachum ha'avar pirish lanu klum yodim anu. So instead of actually Yerushalmi. Yerushalmi. Klum. Yodimai would be put just what's put in the klum. Would be a no, and I guess it's supposed to put the word ain. But the point, even if you don't have it, that's what it means here. That you could say read it beat mia. So you no, so you don't have to specifically use the word klum. You just say do it beat mia. By the way, the Pei Moshe does that a lot in the Yerushalmi. A lot of things which we might read as as a straight statement and might require us to change the girsa. And Moshe simply reads them as bitmiya, and then it achieves the same effect as changing the girsa. Okay, says going further. Rabbi Zir b'Shem Elazar, Echtova chem rubi torasi. I'm going to write for them most of my Torah. V'chiruva shel Torah nichtava. Most of the Torah written down. It's not true. Most of the Torah shel peh. Alam rubin advayim and Joshua min aksav. There are more things which are expounded from the psukim min advayim hani Joshua min peh. The thing from the thing more than that which is comes from Torah Shabbat Peh, and the Rosh Sirilio explains that the halachas which are nidrash from the Gimel Midos or other Midos are more than those which are learned from Halachah Moshe Sinai. So there's Halachah Moshe Sinai, which were for Daraisas, obviously, and then there are things which learned from the Gimel Midos, which is also Daraisa, but so there are more things which come out from drashas than come out from the path, what was given Peh Peh for generation to generation, Halachah Moshe Sinai. So says the Bikini. This is true. What do you mean? Says the Rosh says most of what we know about mitzvahs are Halachah Moshe Sinai. The thing that the Rambam has famously speaks about Hakdam Mizraim. How would you know what tefillin is if you didn't have Halachah Moshe Sinai? How would you know sukkah or lulav is if you didn't have Halachah Moshe Sinai? So most of the mitzvahs we have, most of the details of mitzvahs we have are in fact Baal Peh, right? Are in fact from Masorah. So how can you say that things which are learned from drasha are more than things which came from Masorah? Elakini. So therefore, I have to change what it says here. They're more precious, even though there are actually fewer of them. The things which are expounded by Chazal from the Psukim, the drashas, are Chavivim, are more precious to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, min advarim ben Yijosh Miksav, from things which no. It says moving into the advarim Yijosh Miksav, advarim Yijosh Peh, Ekini, Elakini, Chavivim hein advarim Yijosh Peh, the things which are darshan by Peh are more chavivin than things hanidrashim in aksav. I thought the other way around. So actually, the way the Kabanoki learns it, which I think is you're compelled to say, is that the drashim, he's not just shifting the words merubin to chavivin, but it's also shifting the meaning of the word alpeh. Till now, we're learning alpeh means that we learn Halachah Moshe Sinai. Of course, there's more Halachah Moshe Sinai, and there's things which we can extrapolate from the psukim direct to the midrashas. But what he's saying here is not the chavin drashim peh is things which come from Torah Sheba'al Peh are more precious. Things which we make in Torah Sheba'al Peh, which I believe is what Bavli says as well. Things which are in Jerushim and Peh are more, again, not now Halachah Moshe Sinai, but things which we darshan, which Chachamim expound, are more precious than things of Torah Shebiksav and Josh Miksav. So he comes to a very different understanding, not just of using the Chavivus as opposed to the Rubin, but rather also what Peh and Ksav means. And first way beforehand we thought Peh means Halachah Moshe Sinai and Ksav means Zugim Midos Shatan Yudresbim. Now we're saying the opposite. Now we're saying Chavivin. It could be there's more Halachah Moshe Sinai, but it's in terms of Chavivus, things which are learned from the Gimel Midos with Torah Sheba'al Peh and other the tools Torah Sheba'al Peh uses are more chashuv than things which we can directly understand from the psukim themselves. The word nidrashim is a little bit difficult because nidrash needs to be a drasha, but the that's clearly what he means here. That things which would come to Torah B'Peh are more chayv than things to Torah B'Ksav. You could also no, never mind. Let's go further. I'll write for them most of my Torah. What is that referring to? Elu tochachos. The says the Pnei Moshe Elu tochachos shebetorah. B'darish rubi kamo her beis masa. The it's something which is heavy. There's a lot of it. It's a burden. So vafilu hachi, nevertheless, vafilu ken kamo lo zarnech shabu. Beineim shekam le'me'ava. Even though it puts a tremendous all on her shoulders, nevertheless we're kabel tochachos ba'ava. So that's what he says here. El tochachos afilu ken, even though they're rebukes and they're admonitions, lo kamo zarnech shabu. We don't look at them as strange and difficult. We accept upon ourselves with love. Rabbi Avin, Rabbi said another pshati. Look, asafti l'chol rubei torasi. If I had written for you most of my Torah, with most of it was b'ksav, lo kamo zornech shavu. Would you not then be considered like the zorim? You'd be on the same like the Umas Olam, because the Umas Olam also, if everything is by b'chtav, everybody can access it equally. Amabi non lumos, right? What difference between you and the other nations of the world? Elam otzim sifreim. Right, these are taken out there as for him, and Elam Motzim Sifreim. These are taken out as for him. Elam Motzim Diftereim. These are taken their parchments. Elam Motzim Diftereim. These are taken their parchments. The Rashi really changes the girsa here. It says that his girsa says Elam Motzim Sifreim, Elam Motzim Diftereim. So. Is Diftereim, he says, according to this, is not a language of the klaf, Diftera, but a lashon of the pisrei hen, which is a lashon of pitaron, a solution. So it's saying, not saying what would have been, because it would have been equal, because as far as they have Difteros, we have Difteros, but rather saying, no. Now that the Torah was given Baal Peh, yes, they can take out Sfarim. Like he says, being here says Mashbiach explaining the Rasul's Girsa, they can bring out the Torah which was translated by Talmud, by the 70s Canaan, and that they're equal basis with us. So we have the Torah in Hebrew, but Yisrael has the Pitorin. We have the resolutions, meaning that they are. The Torah Baal Peh, and that were different than the Umas Olam. So that's what makes us superior. Rabbi Chaga b'Shua b'Am Rabbi Shem Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachman nemu dvarim Baal Peh nemu dvarim shebeksav. So it says Torah Peh, Torah B'Ksav. Ein on the yodim ez men chaviv. I don't know which one is more precious. Elamim mad d'chsiv ki apiyah dvarim eil krati chabisim Yisrael. So Gemara again Daf Samach Alef, I think. Samachan Beis says here. Since it says that the bris is appeared by Meila, the Amra Osen Shebepeh Chavivin. So the Torah which Shebepeh is Chavim. Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yudan, Rabbi Shimon, Charamar Im Shamarta Shema Shebepeh. If you keep that which is Bepeh, the Shamarta Masha B'Ksav, and that which is B'Ksav, Ani Kois is Chabris, right? P is Alpeh, and Dvorim sounds like it's B'Ksav. So you have the, if you do both, so then, Ani Kois is Chabris, to make it your bris, you love, and Ani Kois is Chabris, and otherwise you're not going to get a bris. Charon Amadel said, Im Shamarta Mash B'Peh, V'Kiyamta Mash B'Ksav, so if you Shamarta is the same thing, Shamarta B'Peh, but Kiyamta Mash B'Ksav, I don't think it makes a difference, even though you changed the Kiyamta. Ata Mekabel Schar, you receive Schar. So it's Tersh B'Peh, in order to get schar, you have to combine Torah Shebiksav and Torah Shebal Peh. Not to do that with the bris, so you said before, but with the reward. If you love, ain't no makabel schar. If not, you don't get rewarded. I once, one of my Rosh Yeshiva, once was many years ago, Shiva Shalvim, he was so the couple came from a non-frum kibbutz nearby. Mishmari alone asked them to teach them Hilchos Nida Doraisa. Then when we do Doraisa is not the Rabbanans. So Rosh Yeshiva Rabbi Schlesinger went to his Rebbe, Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, and asked him, "Am I allowed to teach them Doraisa? Not the Rabbanans. At least they'll keep Nida Doraisa won't be Chayav Koros." Shlomo Zalman said, "Absolutely not. We don't have don't have Torah Shebiksav independent of Torah Shebal Peh. Like if you want to be Makabel Schar, in other words, if you want to keep the Torah properly, you have to keep Torah Shebiksav as together with Torah Shebal Peh, and therefore you cannot teach them just the Raisas, even though, again, you might think the same it's a chorus that is a falsification of Torah. You can't teach that way. You have to teach them the Rabbanans with the Raisas, otherwise you can't teach at all."